So there he is, stunned from the spray, writhing on the ground like a baby. When, wham! I hit him in the balls. Bam! I hit him with my handbag. And zang! I got him with pepper spray. It was like pure adrenaline. And I was on fire! And once I had him subdued, I realized that the emblem on my Third Birch handbag is total cross-leg. So I held it in front of his face. And sure enough, he was like, ah! And I was like, take that, you creature of the dark. And he was like, ah! And I was like, that's what you get for attacking women in alleys. And he was like, I can't help it. Please, it's just my nature. And I was like, I don't care if it's your nature, you woman hater. And he was all, I don't hate women, I just want to suck your blood. And I was like, ew. And he was like, you get used to it. And I was like, really? And he was like, really? And then he started to lunge after me again, because, you know, I had sort of forgotten to fold up my handbag. But I was really caffeinated, so my reflexes were on point. And I was like, take this! And he was like, ah! And then I had this idea. I thought, why not take lemons and turn them into lemonade? So I was like, you scumbag vampire. And he was like, I'm not really a scumbag. And I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah? And I was like, I'm gonna get him with the more pepper spray. So I sprayed him. And I made him treat my handbag over his shoulder, which of course made him lose like all his powers. And I loaded him into the back of the Escalade. And voila! Do you want to know why Mom drove herself home that night? I was taking a drawing class. I didn't tell anyone. I just had this crazy thought that maybe I could go back to school, focus more on my art. That night was bad. I almost didn't go. I was fucking dreading class. We were working on figure drawing with charcoal and I was terrible at it. It was all big hands and tiny heads. My people looked like victims of that drug pregnant women took back in the 70s. Awful. But I had this teacher, this incredible teacher, Sam. I never had a teacher tell us we could call him by his first name before. And Sam kept telling me that it would happen if I kept working. And that I had a gift, even if I couldn't see it yet. And so I made myself go. I picked up a piece of charcoal and went to work on my tiny hands. And I started to cry a little bit, if you can believe it. Sam saw I was having a meltdown, and he came over. He took the piece of charcoal out of my hands, and he gave me a palette with 3 blobs of red, blue, and yellow paint. He told me to take a good look at the model, his thigh muscles, the way his stomach moved. And then he turned my easel around so that my back was to the model I was supposed to be drawing. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And he said, don't look back. Just paint. So I started with one red splotch. Then I did another, and then it all just took over. It was like I was looking down at myself from above, watching my hands move across the page in these big stripes of color. I painted the entire easel. The map the paper was clipped to. I would have moved to the floors and the walls if Sam hadn't stopped me. He looked at what I had done, and he said, well, there you are. I was wondering when we'd find you. When I looked around, everyone was packing up. Class was over, but I wasn't finished. I was vibrating. I was hovering above the floors. Sam said, stay if you want. The doors will lock behind you. And so I stayed. When I got to the bar, her usual seat was empty. I think you know the rest. A fucking drawing class. I've written a million versions in my head. What if I hadn't stayed? What if I showed up? What if Mom made it home? What if you stayed? What if I left? What if? You wrote this book. I could write 100 of them. Yo te di todo mi amor y más. Y tú no reconoces ni lo que es amar. Yo me puse dispuesta a tus pies y tan solo con desprecio me has pagado, pero ahora ve. Si una vez dije que te amaba, hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez te dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error es cosa de ayer.